Welcome, and in this lesson, we're going to learn how to create and edit text files on our Linux system. Now, we're going to spend some time here because I want to introduce you to some editors and also the preferred editors that I like to use and that most system administrators like to use, and why. Well, first, when it comes to creating and editing text files, it's really simple. Almost every file in our system is basically a text file. We should be able to edit or create a file by using a regular text editor. So I want to talk to you about a basic text editor called Nano. First, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we install Nano on our system. To do that, we'll just do a yum install Nano. Now, this is a real simple text editor that you can use for modifying text. Now, it's not what's suggested. What tools we're really going to focus on is VI and VIM. And the reason it's important for us to learn VI is because anytime you enter a rescue mode or recovery mode on a system, you're not going to have these third-party editors like Nano installed. The default editor you're going to have in those environments is VI. When in doubt, you'll always have VI on a system. Now, we'll talk about the differences between VI and VIM, which is the VI editor improved. But first, let's take a look at Nano. So to edit a file, I can just do Nano and then file name. And I wanted to show this Nano one to you because it's relatively simple to start typing. Basically, when you open up Nano, you're already in typing mode. So you just start typing, just like this. So down here, you have this, which represents control and then the key to exit. So I can hit Control X. It's going to ask me if I want to exit, cancel, save changes, or not save changes. And I can cancel that by hitting Control C. Now, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the Nano editor. We're just going to real quick start typing, hit Control X, hit Y, and save it. Then we go back up, and then we can modify the text file again. It's just regular text. We don't have to know anything specific, and the commands are down there on the bottom for us to know. Now, there's also an editor called Emacs. It's not installed on the system, and it's a little bit older of a text editor that you can do and download on your system. And if you see that we can find and download the Emacs text editor. It's an older text editor. It's one of those that's been around for a while. And we're not going to really focus on using that. It's not the one I suggest. It's not the one we use during the lessons. And it's not the one that's always on the system. What we need to learn is probably something considered a little bit more complex. And that's VI or VIM. Now, the differences between the two is that VIM has a lot more features, but the behavior for editing text files is the same. So VI is actually a broken down version of VIM. It's basically VIM Lite. Now, if you don't have VIM on your system, so if you type a which VIM and it doesn't show up, you can do a yum install VIM. You'll notice that I sometimes use VI and I sometimes use VIM. VIM by default will have syntax highlighting for me inside of my text editor if I want it. But everything I need to use is available to me in VI. The one thing that you can always rely on is the VI editor being installed on a system. No matter what, no matter the Linux distribution, no matter the recovery mode, whatever you're doing, you're going to have VI on a system. And you can not always rely on Nano or Emacs or VIM, but VI you can. So let's talk about the basic modes of VI, and this also applies to VIM, by the way. So whatever we do in VI here will also work in VIM, since VI is just VIM Lite. So you see here, we're inside of VIM, right? So it's basically VIM Lite, the VI command. So I'm going to actually just VI a file. I'm going to call this file1. So it's going to create a new file called file1. Now, whenever we open VI by default, we're actually in something called command mode. You can't start typing. If you were to hit something on your keyboard, it wouldn't go into the editor. Well, that's because we're in command mode. Command mode accepts commands which are usually in the form of individual letters such as A, I, D, P. We can use the keys H, J, and K, and also I to navigate files in a similar way as up and down arrows on a keyboard. So let's demonstrate this. Now that we're in command mode, I need to go into insert mode to edit a file, or let's go ahead and exit. To exit, I need to go into something called X mode. So I need to do a colon. So I'll hit my Shift colon key. I'll hit my Q, which means quit, and my exclamation point, which means quit immediately. If I want to go and edit my Etsy password file, what I want to do is I'm just going to use L. You notice I'm hitting my L key and I'm navigating to the right side of the screen. Okay, what happens if I hit my J key? My J key is going to have me navigate down. My H key is going to move to the left, and my K key is going to move up. So H is going to move left, L key is going to move right, K is going to move up, and J is going to move down. And so that's what we're doing navigating the file. So we're going to get into some more editing here. So let's go ahead and go back to our file 1 that we've created inside of our /home/user directory. I'm going to hit I. When I hit I, I'm switching from command mode and I'm going into insert mode. You notice here I'm in insert mode. So now I can start typing. Okay, well, what happens when I'm done typing? Any key I enter here is going to affect my typing. So when I'm done typing, how do I get back to command mode to save my file and exit? Well, I just hit the escape key. And you notice that down here, I'm no longer in insert mode. And I can actually, now that I'm in command mode, start navigating like I could normally in command mode. So command mode allows us to do a lot of things, right? So there's something called yank. I want to yank an entire line that our cursor is currently on. I can hit YY. All yank means, and this is an actual term for VI, is to copy. So I just copy that line, this first line here, my arbitrary EWF0IJWEF. I've just copied that. Now I want to go ahead and paste that line. How would I do that? I could hit P, which means paste the contents of the yanked text starting the line after your cursor. Oh, well, I meant to do it before my cursor, so I want to undo that. I can just hit U to undo it. Now, if I hit a uppercase P or my Shift P key, you'll notice it pasted it on the line above my cursor. I can continue to do this over and over and over and over again. Or I can undo what I did by hitting the U key. It's undo. Now, we can also do something called DD. DD is going to cut, essentially, the text. So if I say DD, I've just cut that line, and it's on my clipboard. Not really a Linux clipboard, but the equivalent of a Linux clipboard. I want to paste the first line on the contents after, so I'll just hit P. So let's clean this up a little bit. I want to go ahead and delete all of these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So I'm just going to do 5 DD. So what I do there, let's hit undo. I hit the 5 key and then my DD key twice. That cut all 5 of those lines. If I wanted to do 3 lines at one time, I could hit 3 DD. That would be 3 lines at a time. Again, I hit my undo key to go backwards. And the same thing works for Y. If I want to copy all 5 lines but not cut them, I'll do 5YY. Down here, you'll see it says 5 lines have been yanked. I want to come down and I want to paste those lines over and over and over and over and over again. So let's again go ahead and delete all of this. I'm just going to do a 40 DD because I know it's going to delete all of those, but it also cuts those. So I could paste them back by hitting my uppercase or lowercase p, or I could just hit undo to make them come back as well. So again, let's go ahead and go up to the top of our page. Well, how do we do that? I want to get to the top of my page. That's real simple. You can navigate to a specific line number by typing in the line number you want to get to. So if I want to go to the first line, I'll hit 1 Shift G or uppercase G. So to go to the bottom, I'll just hit Shift G. And to go to the top, I'll hit 1 Shift G. You notice my cursor down there? It's going to the bottom of the file and then the top of the file. So again, 1 uppercase G or 1 Shift G will take me to the top and 1 Shift G will take me to the bottom. I want to go ahead and remove all of this. So I'm just going to do a 21 DD and it's going to remove all of the lines because there were 21 lines in my file. So the thing is I'm still in command mode. So let's go ahead and do line 1 by hitting I and going into insert mode, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. And then I hit escape to go back into command mode. So if I wanted to cut line 1 and move it below line 5, I'd hit DD one time, then Shift G to take me to the bottom of the file, and I want to paste it after my cursor. So I'll just hit lowercase p or just the P key, and I've pasted it there. If I want to cut lines 2, 3, and 4 at the same time, I could hit 3DD. Again, we'll go down to the bottom of our file, and I want to paste it to the bottom, so I'll just hit P again, and I'm manipulating those lines. Now, if I want to change a word inside of a line, let's go ahead and add in multiple words here. So this is line 1, this is my line. If I want to change a word, and I'm in command mode, I'm not currently in insert mode, I just inserted my text and hit escape. So now I'm in command mode, and I just want to change one word. I'm going to hit CW, and that's change word, right? So now I'm able to change that word and enter it because CW puts me inside of insert mode. So CW there automatically, if you see down here, puts us inside of insert mode, removes the word, and allows me to start typing. Now, let's say I want to replace this entire configuration line or whatever this line of code is. I can remove this line and go into insert mode by typing CC. So just CC will remove the line and then put me into insert mode. Now, the difference between CC and DD is DD cuts it and removes the line, cuts the entire line, and it doesn't put us in insert mode. It keeps us in command mode. So CC removes the line and puts us inside of insert mode so we can start inserting text. So we have command mode, we have insert mode, and we have X mode. X mode is down here when we hit the shift colon. The shift colon down here allows us to, well, insert certain commands. So for example, I can search for text by hitting the question mark and then line. It's going to take me to my first result there. I can then get back into X mode by hitting escape, so I'm in command mode, and then from there, my colon. I can also search with just a slash. We had the question mark, but I can also do a slash line 2. And that searches to find line 2, and you'll notice it moves our cursor down to where the text has been found. So inside of insert mode, I can also do a capital R or uppercase R or shift R, however you want to look at it, and that's replace mode, which means I'm writing over the text that is currently there. So that's also a useful little utility. So let's continue exploring X mode. Since I was in the replace function in insert mode, I can hit escape and then my shift colon, and now I'm down here in X mode at the bottom. So let's say that I want to replace the first occurrence of line with the word word. So how would we do that? Well, I could do a %s and then the word I want to replace. I want to replace the word line and I want to replace it with word. And if you notice, it replaces the first occurrence on each line with the word word. Now, if I go into insert mode and let's add some more text. Let's add word here. Let's add some more word, another word, and another word. I'll hit escape to go out of insert mode, my shift colon to go into X mode. And let's say that I want to replace every instance of the word word with hello. I could do that inside of X mode by doing a %s. This means substitute. Then the word that we want to replace, so that's word, and the word we want to replace it with. Now, if I leave it with just this, it's going to replace the first instance of the line each time. So, for example, it only replaced the first instance of word with hello. Well, I want to replace it globally. So to do that, we'll do a %s, we'll change word to hello, and then /g. The /g means all occurrences, or global, and then you'll notice it replaces all occurrences of that. So now that I made some changes to my file, I want to save my file. So to do that, I need to go into X mode by hitting shift colon W, and that saves it. You'll notice down here, it says the file's been written. Well, let's say I want to go ahead and save changes and quit. I can hit a WQ, and that will save changes and quit. We'll go back up to our top here, and that saved our changes and quit. Let's say that I need to know what's inside of my home directory because I'm writing some documentation, and I don't want to save and exit or quit and exit like this. And by the way, the exclamation point means quit immediately. So let's say I want to issue a command. I can go into my X mode and I can start it with an exclamation point and do, for example, ls. And if you see here, it actually executes the command ls inside of my current working directory, which in this case is my /home/user. Now to continue, I can just hit enter. I can go back into X mode. I can say ls, the etc directory. Well, cool. I'm actually issuing Linux commands from inside of the VI editor. So that concludes it for learning how to use the VI editor. And that's what we're going to use throughout most of our course. And for example, if we're inside of our etc directory, we can do a VI or VIM on the MOTD file. We can edit this by going into insert mode. We can start working or change the entire line and insert into insert mode by CC. And again, we have an entire cheat sheet with all of the commands that I just went over with you. I would encourage you to download that cheat sheet. It's part of the required reading section of this course, and go through and start memorizing and practicing those. We'll also have an exercise at the end of this section to help you learn how to use VI better. So that concludes it for this lesson. Go ahead and complete this lesson and move on.